a Dredfunn original production. Please sit back and enjoy.
Hey guys, Dredfunn here with another one of my time-lapse video uploads. This one I'm excited about. Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding. For those of you, wow, that was weird. My whole image just turned yeller. Oh, back to the regular color. Hey, I'm wearing a hat in this picture. Anyways, I'm a huge Rob Zombie mark or fan, and I love the whole. I guess it's the Devil's Rejects series. I mean, it was the House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and now Three from Hell. So I'm drawing Sid Haig here, the actor who plays Captain Spaulding. This drawing was a tough one. It took me a couple whacks at it. As you can see, I'm bringing the ruler in. Before filming, like I'll measure, because I'll have the picture off to the side and I'll measure certain spots. It's a progression of the grid type technique. So once you have the eyes, nose, mouth, and a rough gauge, I can almost see the whole thing topographically through lines. Once I get that all down, it's then a lot of, just slight moving. You can see I'll bring the eraser here and there. Sid's face was pretty tough to pull off, I'm not going to lie. It was great because he's got a lot of features and he's an elderly man, so he's got all these, it's got character, creases and whatnot. You can see me lightly laying them in. But another drawback is he has a beard similar to mine. It's not the most robust and full, vivacious beard. It's got some thinness to it. So there's a bit of a technique to that you'll see as we come along here. Now I'm just detailing the eyes, and the big concern that I had going into this image was the fact that it's not just Captain Spaulding. Well, it is Captain Spaulding, but it's not his character Cutter so he doesn't have the makeup. He's got the makeup in this image. And in the past I've done jokers and stuff like that and clowns. So I knew what it was going to take going into this. I also used my older type of paper that I don't use as often anymore because the things that I liked about it I no longer like. I find it a little too porous, and some of the finite detail that I put into some of these images, especially when it comes to pulling it out with a graphite eraser, sometimes having a less porous page I find beneficial. Eventually I will go back to using it and flip-flop, but for now we're good. I can remember a while back it was a big crisis when I couldn't get it. The wife and I were like well, I was distraught. She went from being distraught to ticked off to oh my god. Eventually we got some other papers. So here, the cool thing about Captain Spaulding's image, this is the iconic one with his mouth open, is I knew if I could lay it out properly, and you can see with the pupils, I've left out areas that I'm then going to pull out with my graphite eraser. That type of contrast, you can see that in paint, and I picked a lot of that up in my black and white ink work, where you'll lay down stuff and then lay out some white across the black as a contrast. So throughout this I'm taking pictures for Instagram, and I'm now detailing his lovely teeth. Spaulding in this movie definitely had some rough chompers. Looks like in the trailers he's got some nice clean pearly whiteys. Go for prison dentistry, I guess. So that's I guess the whole premise of Three from Hell. They survived the shooting at the end of Devil's Rejects, and then I guess have been in prison. And something's going to happen. They're going to break out. I'm sure Rob won't disappoint. With this, again, I'm trying to be aware that it's a color image, and I'm trying to render it in black and white using graphite pencils. So I see things literally in levels of gray. It kind of describes my personality too, sort of. my inner heart. Levels of gray. So here I am, just it's a lot of niggly stuff, I call it, because it's just like a sculptor. I'm sort of just chipping away, whereas I'm actually adding graphite and moving it around and smudging it and trying to make it work for me. Here I am going in, putting in the mustache, and again with that beard, it's a technique that I've used where on the top of the head, even though a guy will have a full head of hair, sometimes depending on the lighting you can see the scalp. And if that's the case in the image, you can't ignore that. You've got to try to reproduce that, render that in pencil. Just like a glass of milk, I mean, it's going to have highlights and brightness and softer tones that are going to counter, and you've got to, use references to be able to make that look real. Sure, you can draw a little cylinder and fill it halfway up, say that it's white, and that'll work too, but I mean, if you're getting into this type of micro detail, every little bit adds up and it all counts. For young artists starting out, this might not be the best way for you to go. I also use a more freehand technique where I'll have a rough idea where I'm going to put stuff, and I'll then just sort of try not to make it look exactly like what I see, because I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate the way I see things. I literally see them in almost a topographical way in tones of gray. So coloring is very tough for me. I mean, I can see color. I just, when it comes to painting, I literally see things this way. Now I'm talking about how crazy I am. All right, so we're back to his teethus and making sure to make them look porous. Also, again, the hardest part about this is I also, at the end, I want to make this product look, or this image look like his face has been smeared with the white paint, because Captain Spaulding very rarely in the movies has it perfectly worked. It's kind of, the details there, but it's a rough layout, like some sweating, almost like pro wrestlers. So there, you can see that area around here. And around the nose, I'm going to pull that out with my graphite eraser. Even right now, it looks spectacular. If I had just went in and did the eyes, it would probably be okay. But we're going for the full effect. And this is just one of 4. I draw all of them tiny. Gosh, I'm drawing a complete blank on them all. But anyways, for this one, I'm doing Captain Spaulding, aka Cutter, Sid Haig. At some point, I might yell out their names. Yeah. Firefly! Yeah. Anyways, here it is. The magic's happening with the beard. Another added pain in the butt with this beard, because I draw a lot of beards, is the fact that Sid's beard is not a uniform color. It's got a salt and pepperish tone to it, with some of the makeup smearing around. So it makes everything slightly more difficult. As you can see, I always leave the ear to the very end. Something about ears. And there's my big old head getting in the way. You can see from, I guess it would be your left to right or my right to left, whatever the case is, the one side of the beard's going to be more highlighted. And when the time comes, as I recall, there was a lot of graphite work with this one in particular. Tiny's, there was a lot too. Almost as much as like when I did Freddy Krueger. Both guys have a very melty skin kind of look, whereas oh hey, hat time! I forgot. Yeah, I did do. I was like debating when I did this, because it's going to be all 4 in a 4-pack that I offer in frames called it's my Devil's Reject series. I was thinking about just not even doing the hat and just doing a sort of a dark graded black background and just have him, because at certain times in the movie he doesn't always have the hat. It's sort of like a tiny hat that's done up under his chin, but it's Captain Spaulding. He's iconic in the movie, so maybe at some other time I'll do him as Cutter. Don't you like clowns, kid? Sorry, yeah, from the movie. Who you think you're talking to? But now we're doing the ear, and we're getting to the finished part. You can see a little bit of Captain Spaulding's, I guess it's his, I don't want to call it a uniform, what do you call it? A clown costume. Yeah, I love clowns. Yeah, weird though, that Puddle's Pity Party, drawing him came in handy with this, because with him, his makeup is pure white, and it's not messy. It's very very clean compared to Spaulding. So just doing it in that style, you know, I knew sort of coming into this where I wanted to pull things out. Now I'm just a final touch, a final bit of detail. This is stuff that might have gotten smudged up that I don't like, that I want to stand out, so I will then add to it again. Certain areas around the eyes, you can give it another quick dash with the pencil, add some more lead and it'll make it step out. Ooh, gold paint! Oh yeah, I used a sparkly gold paint for my signature. I was getting all classy for a while. I stopped using it because I'm too lazy to switch my water sometimes, and some of the comic work I was finding had little speckles of sparkles in it because it's a gold paint that has sparkles. It's pretty cool stuff, kind of like painting with snot though. Here we go, we're going in, and with all of these I've chose to try to make it pop off the page a little bit. Again, gone back to the weird yellow. Anyways, this camera is no longer in use. I blew it out a while ago, and we just recently got a new one. Here's the magic! We're going in, and look at that. Look at the beauty as I start pulling that out, even in the beard. If I ever redo this again, that electric eraser will come in very handy in detailing certain parts of the beard because it's a spectacular piece of machinery. But here you go, the highlights in the eyes really start to pop, really start to pull off the page. Again, you'll see it when I go in there. Boom. It just makes Sid Haig come to life on a 2D surface. If you're interested in doing this technique, pick up a pliable eraser. Heck, any eraser will do. Try messing around with it. Do it with apples. Do it with oranges. Do it with the trees. Do it with people. Do it with whatever you can. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, pass it on, hit that notification button, all that blah, 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 blah. Yeah, pass it around, and don't forget to check out 3 from Hell when it comes out. Alright guys, Dredfunn out. Boom!
This has been a Dredfunn.com production. Thanks for watching.